Welcome back, and today we're talking about yet again the Internet Computer Protocol and the price action or lack thereof from this crypto and what I have done in my portfolio. And remember, this is just my portfolio. And it may be different than your investment thesis or strategy, but we have been leading up to this for many, many months as we've been covering the internet computer and the metrics on chain. In today's video, we're going to be exploring these metrics and also understanding why the price of internet computer has been underperforming most of the rest of the market, because it's now down over 50%, where most cryptos have been up in 2025. You guys can clearly see here, down 55% on the 1-year chart. And now there are a lot of good metrics and a lot of good technology and, the release of Caffeine AI from a public standpoint. These are all very positive signals for the technology in the longer term. But in the shorter and medium term, we really have to understand what is actually happening from a metrics perspective and whether this is a good or bad investment, because this channel is about investing. We're not maximalist. I have no loyalty to any crypto. As you guys know, I can sell all my cryptos tomorrow or today or yesterday. And so it doesn't matter what I'm doing in my portfolio. The only thing that really matters is what you're doing in your portfolio, right? Because the market doesn't care what I think. And you shouldn't care what I think either. Now, I think it's important to hear differing opinions. But as always, we're going to have the maximalists who say, well, Cryptoviser, you're just fudding. Who's paying you? Nobody. Well, Google's paying me for you watching this video and watching the ads. And therefore, you guys should definitely give this video a free thumbs up and also hit that subscribe button. That way you never miss a new video. We upload every single day to talk about crypto, blockchain, and investing. And this is a channel about winning, right? And if you've been on my channel for any length of time, you know that I have been saying very consistently, by the end of this cycle, I want to have zero crypto in my portfolio. I want to restart, refresh. And by the way, in a rotation from a bull market to a bear market, and really from the top of the market, which was in the middle of 2025 for the macro sense, there's a lot more money to be made in other assets. And so why would I keep my investments, right? And by the way, I may or may not have sold. You guys are going to want to stick around until the end of this video to find out exactly what I did in my portfolio with the ICP crypto. But before we get there, we're going to lead up to it with kind of my research and analysis about the Internet Computer Protocol. And by the way, don't get clickbaited here. Make sure you guys stick around to the end, give the video a thumbs up, and let's get right into ICP. Now, as you guys know, anybody who's telling you, oh, well, we don't want to talk about, the price of ICP, like ignore them, right? I mean, you invest in a crypto, you invest in a stock because you think it's going to go up in price, whether your time frame is 6 months or your time frame is 2 years, or your time frame is 8 years, like some of the people who stake in the ICP ecosystem. But at some point, you have to look at a losing position and say, I need to cut my losses and move on, right? I'm not here on this channel talking about coins for, 5 to 10 years to make a 100% increase in the price when I can do that in other assets overnight sometimes, right? I mean, we've been talking a lot about these AI data center companies that have pivoted from Bitcoin mining. And they're performing, most of them. I mean, Iris Energy is up over 10x. Cypher Mining is up, I think, almost 10x as well. Bitfarms, 5x. TerraWolf, 5x. So these are 500% returns since July of 2025. I'm recording this in the Q4 of 2025, so just a few months. Meanwhile, ICP is down substantially when they're releasing AI capabilities and AI, basically an AI data center network, which is great. But has it been realized by the market yet? I mean, apparently not, because the price continues to drop and not go higher. And so that's an anti-investing thesis. That's a bad investment. And so at some point, you have to say, maybe I need to exit. Now, there's a lot of people who say, but Cryptoviser, we're already at multi-year lows, which is true. But here's the deal. That doesn't mean we can't go down another 95%. I mean, even if you look at the Bitcoin treasury companies from the middle of 2025, when these Bitcoin treasury companies popped up, like Nakamoto, Kindly MD, ProCap, all of these other ones, Nakamoto is down 97% since that time. If you owned the stock before they made the announcement that they were going to switch to Bitcoin treasury, you would be in the red now, meaning it's been a complete and utter failure, or I should say, complete and utter failure of execution of their Bitcoin strategy. Because if they did nothing, the stock price potentially would have been higher if they never even bought Bitcoin than it is today. And that's important to understand because we are about winning on this channel. The price of ICP can go down to $1. It can go down to $0. It can go down to 10 cents. That's possible. Whether it's going to do that or not, I don't know. But I also don't want to be a bag holder because I've been a bag holder in previous cycles. And many people who are watching this video today are going to be bag holders because they don't have a choice because they're going to be down 90% in their portfolio. And I'm not saying specifically with Internet Computer, I'm saying with any of their cryptos, any of their stocks. Because if you don't understand how to take a loss in a in a trade, or just not take as much of a gain, right? Because maybe you're in the green. I mean, the all-time record low was $2.90 or something like that. So you could still technically be in the green, but not by much, right? And you could be holding this for years and years and years. And it doesn't matter what the technology is doing, because if the technology is not connected to the coin, well, there's a problem there, right? There's a disconnect. And I'm not saying Internet Computer is in that situation. I'm just saying, generally speaking, with investing. Think about XRP. Everybody's cheering on Ripple, but meanwhile, Ripple is literally diluting the shareholders by continuing to sell XRP on the open market. And by the way, Ripple's products don't force the usage of XRP. So you as an XRP holder, you can be as the most bullish that you've ever been, but you are the bag holder. Like quite literally, because Ripple is selling the XRP on the open market. They're not even holding the bag. You're holding the bag. And I don't want to hold the bag. I'd rather not hold the bag. I'd rather hold the bag of dollars that I can then go and redeploy in a bear market or into other assets that are going to continue to appreciate. So understanding all of that, we need to understand where ICP is, right? Not from a technology standpoint, because I think that's pretty clear at this point. And if you don't get it at this point, I don't know what to tell you. But I believe that the technology of Internet Computer is amazing. I think the network is one of a kind. I think that they're doing really good things, but it's not translating to the price. IC Terminal posted this, saying large holder count falls to a 52-week low. The number of addresses holding at least 100,000 ICP dropped to 732, marking a new one-year low. And so again, number of addresses with a balance of over 100,000 ICP is dropping. Why is it dropping? Well, maybe small holders are increasing. We'll get there. We're also seeing the number of addresses holding at least 1 million ICP are surging to a new annual peak. So think about that. 100,000 ICP wallets are decreasing. 1 million ICP wallets are increasing. That would tell me, just based on those two metrics alone, that smaller whales, right, smaller large holders with 100,000 to 1 million are consolidating or selling off. And the 1 million, the mega whales, are sucking up that liquidity. In an asset, and by the way, these are very low numbers as well, right? People only holding 1 million ICP is 82, and wallets holding 100,000 or more ICP is 732. This is very small numbers, right? This is, I mean, if you look at Bitcoin whales, you're talking about thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, Ethereum whales, hundreds of thousands. We're not talking about like less than 1,000 wallets. This is a very concentrated wealth. And so these mega whales, we've talked about this for a while. In my view, based on these continued charts of the mega whale wallets increasing and the staking for long-term increasing, because long-term staking, this top line, this is basically the 8-year staking, somebody who stakes their ICP for 8 years. We're seeing a huge increase. And while people are cheering this on, for me, I take a little bit of pause here because really the only people who are holding their or staking their ICP for 8 years are likely insiders, developers, people who are fully invested in this protocol. And they're not investors, they're not traders, right? And so it's a different mindset than you or I for the most part. So a lot of people are seeing that as a very positive thing, but I'm seeing this as more negative when combined with these two other charts, because it tells me mega whales are the ones who are absorbing the liquidity, while smaller whales or smaller holders are not really increasing that much. And that means we're probably not getting institutions. We're probably not getting major investors like that are investing in other protocols or other AI protocols. And that doesn't mean they're not going to. It just means that they haven't yet. And combine that with end of the bull cycle for Bitcoin, right? When you're talking about days since the Bitcoin halving, it seems a little bit bearish in my view. We're also seeing this volatility spikes trigger exchange outflows. So it says ICP plunged over 50% intraday, falling from around $4.50 to $2 within an hour before rebounding and stabilizing above $3. Now, this was during the Bitcoin flash crash in October of 2025. Meanwhile, exchange balances dropped from roughly 54.6 million to 52.9 million ICP, signaling buy the dip demand as traders pulled tokens off exchanges. Now, I don't necessarily agree with that analysis, right? They're saying exchange balances dropped. Why would they drop? The only reason that people are really pulling, here's the deal. ICP, you're either a maximalist or you're not, or you're a trader, right? And so the traders keep their crypto on exchanges. They're not moving it to staking, and they're definitely not staking it for 8 years. And so you want to see traders in the market. You want to see traders bidding up the price of ICP because they're the ones who bring liquidity in. They're the ones who bring new investors in who understand, oh, wait, let me look at this technology. When the traders are not there, you could have the best technology in the world, but if nobody's noticing it, well, you're not going to really make any money. I mean, we've seen that happen before. And so to me, seeing that exchange balances are dropping tells me that people are moving their coins to go and stake them, which kind of goes in line with, if you look at the long-term staking, it's continuing to increase by, I mean, just in the last 3 months, we went from 146 million to 148 million, so 4 million increase in the last 3 months, which kind of goes with this, the fact that there's like 1 or 2 million that were pulled off exchanges during that flash crash. So that tells me, number one, these are probably whales or developers or insiders who are helping develop the protocol and using the protocol and building on the protocol. It goes in line with this, the number of mega whales are absorbing the liquidity, right? Because again, if you don't have somebody on the buy side and you just have massive selling or liquidations, this is where the price can drop. I mean, 50% in a day. Some cryptos like meme coins, a fart coin went down, 90% on that flash crash because the order books are so thinly traded. And so while a lot of users will see these metrics as very bullish, like, oh, well, they're pulling their crypto off the exchanges, that means that people are buying. Well, yeah, somebody's buying, but is it the whales that are buying? Because if the whales are the only ones buying, and there's only a very small number of these whales, 82 mega whales and 730 whales, right? So altogether, that's less than 1,000 whales with over 100,000 ICP. And so the price of ICP when I'm recording this video is $350. So 100,000, that's $350,000, or a million, it's 3.5 million. There's only 82 wallets holding more than $3.5 million in it. That's really, really, really low. And so I don't think that this is actually showing buy the dip demand. I think that this is, again, whales absorbing the liquidity. And by the way, what I actually did in my portfolio with my ICP coins happened before the flash crash. So everything that's going on in the flash crash is just confirming that I was right. And we'll get to that in just a minute. I have some more metrics. So you can see here, IC Terminal said Dolphin balances reach year high amid the market pullback. ICP holder addresses with 1,000 to 5,000 ICP climbed to a yearly high, suggesting continued retail accumulation during the recent price decline. Now, that may be true, but we also know that there's a lot of building going on in the ecosystem. And when you build a DApp or you're testing a DApp, right? People create new wallets and they put smaller amounts of the coins in, right? To really see belief and conviction in the crypto. I don't want to see retail. I want to see whales, right? I want to see the billionaires investing in this crypto, because you can have a ton of retail investors and the price doesn't go up. Look at Cardano. Cardano has no institutional interest. It's mostly retail, mostly like community, right? Mostly like, everyday people. And the price barely can move because they don't have massive inflows and massive moves in their wallet balances. This is a concern. Now, some people would look at this and say, well, Cryptoviser, this is actually bullish because that means that more people are holding. I mean, I get that. But again, 5,000 ICP times 350 is about $20,000. On a $2 billion market cap crypto, it's like a drop in the bucket. It's almost nothing, right? Here's another metric. The number of ICP addresses holding non-zero balances surpassed 900,000, extending its consistent growth trend observed through 2025. So this is just kind of another non-zero balance wallet addresses continue to increase. You typically see this across the board with most cryptos. I mean, if it goes into the negative, I mean, the crypto's basically done, right? It's dead. But good thing that we're continuing to see growth, because it definitely says that ICP has users, ICP has interest. It's not like, it's not declining. That would be horrible. And Dominic said, hopefully this is the last weekend before Caffeine AI opens up so anyone can create apps using AI on a revolutionary self-writing network stack that pushes today's limits. And he's thinking millions of apps on ICP are possible. And I would agree. I mean, I think that the network has definitely advanced and reshuffled and reorganized. And I think that they're definitely listening to the community and taking feedback from the users of Caffeine and the developers of, different products on ICP. But this idea that, oh, well, Cryptoviser's getting paid because he's spreading FUD. It's like, no, I'm just letting you guys know my opinion and my analysis on this crypto, along with what I do on this channel with other cryptos and other stocks. Therefore, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Don't forget to give this video a free thumbs up. But yeah, before the flash crash, I trimmed my position in ICP because ICP has not been moving and the trend has been down. And my macro thesis is that, and by the way, I still hold ICP. I just trimmed my position because here's the deal. What I've been saying all year on this channel, if you follow, many of you understand this, that we are ending the bull cycle. Like, we're at now 18 months since the Bitcoin halving. Generally speaking, most of crypto, I think, is going to enter a bear market, if not already kind of rotating into the bear market. And so if we're already at multi-year lows and potentially almost at all-time lows of just under $3, the idea that we're not going lower than that in a bear market is ridiculous. And I don't think Caffeine AI is going to be it could be, I could be wrong on this, but I don't think it's going to be the catalyst to pull the price up, because it hasn't done it just yet. And Caffeine AI was launched in June and then relaunched in July or August. Now, granted, it was in alpha and beta testing phases and not open up to the general public, and they weren't monetizing it and all of that. I get that. But the trend overall in crypto is down into 2026, in my view. And so there is going to be potential to re-up my position at much lower prices. I'm not telling you what to do in your portfolio. I still hold ICP because there's the possibility that I'm going to be wrong on this. But every metric that I'm seeing is not increasing the way that we thought it would. right? In the middle of the year, when they were testing a lot of the AI features on the network, we saw these huge spikes in transactions per second, in cycles burned, in canister upgrades, and all of this. But a lot of that has slowed down. And for that to pick back up, right, we're going to have to see increased usage. There's a lot of talk about AI bubble in traditional markets that can spook a lot of people from putting institutions, companies, funds into putting money into AI plays that are outside of traditional finance because of that AI bubble concern. And I generally think as well that AI is potentially in a bubble, right? They're spending so much money and they're not really making that much money, right? And I'm not just talking about ICP, I'm talking about general AI. And so there is a potential that AI is in a bubble. And if AI goes through a correction, what do you think is going to happen with AI cryptos, especially if crypto goes into a bear market? And so that's just part of the de-risking process. I do not want to be a bag holder. There's a lot of people who don't understand what that means. Well, if we drop another 90% from here, which is possible, you're going to be the bag holder. I'm not going to be the bag holder because I'm not going to be holding the coin. And I have been a bag holder in the first cycle that I was in the second cycle I was in, probably in this third cycle that I'm in. We are definitely going to have bags that either we can't let go of because we don't want to, we think it's going to go higher, or the market just beats us to it, right? And the market drops before we can get out. But once the market starts to go into decline, the trend is your friend. And look at what the trend has been since 2024, which I now think was the cycle highs. And so with that, I trimmed my position in the cycle. I think the mega whales have been absorbing a lot of the selling that has been going on, a lot of the inflationary aspect, whether it's insider selling or unlocks or whatever the situation is. I definitely, the data shows that these large mega whales are absorbing a lot of these coins. And that's not bullish. That's really not bullish. Now, if I see a reversal on that, or I see more mega whale wallets, more regular whale wallets, along with more usage on the chain, more of these dApps being deployed by Caffeine AI and other metrics as well, well, then we can reconsider the position in ICP. But for now, I think that ICP is going to follow what the rest of the market is about to do / already doing, and that is trending lower. That's my opinions. That's my analysis. Let me know what you guys think down below. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up whether you agree or disagree with my thesis. At least give the video a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you on the next video. Crypto on.